Hello, my name is Katie Reed, and my topic is challenges faced in human resources and recruitment. And the challenges that are faced in these two departments ultimately affect the company's overall productivity, and how the company responds to those challenges oftentimes affects how successful they'll be in the long run. So today in my presentation, I'll be discussing what personnel these two departments play a role in for the company, the challenges they face on a daily basis, and some solutions I came up with that will help these challenges. So to start, what is human resources and recruiting? According to the source I found, what is human resource management? HR is the personnel of a business or organization, and it is way more than that. It's more in depth. It can contain a variety of things such as employment and labor laws, payroll, compensation, etc. The list goes on. According to what is recruitment, selection, and induction, recruiting is the process of attracting, selecting, and appointing suitable candidates to specific job recs. So the question becomes, why are they so important and critical to a company? The reason is they're people-oriented, they're people-focused. Without a people, you don't have a workforce. And they're also going to focus on maximizing the productivity. So you could have, the work, you could have the people, but it needs to be successful in order to be an actual business. And then two quotes I found from my SHRM source I thought fit the description of both of these professions very well. The first, talking about human resources, and it says, human resources isn't just a thing that's done, it's a thing that runs a business. And then the second, regarding recruitment, people are not your most important asset, the right people are. And I really like both of those because it digs into the importance of both departments very well. Moving on, so we'll look at challenges faced in HR first. As you can see, the first one being negative connotation and stigma. So oftentimes, HR is very discredited for the work that they do in this department. Oftentimes, it's viewed as a money pit to others outside of the profession, and the employees in the profession are kind of shy away then from entering because of all this negative stigma towards it, and they think that their work won't be valued or their profession or career won't be valued. And a quote that I found that fit this was from Forbes, and it's regarding the profession of HR, and it says, at best, a necessary evil, and at worst, a dark force that blindly enforces unimportant rules, resists creativity, and impedes constructive change. But that's kind of, going in with that connotation, and, HR is merely money pit. It's not meaningful to the business, but you have to have it. Continuing on, communication. Without this, companies crumble because you're not able to share your ideas, your plans, or current problems that are arising with one another. And without that sharing communication, nothing's going to be done. And two things kind of fall under this, culture and communication styles. So as companies become more diverse, different cultures are being brought into this company. And with that, different people are going to have different communication styles. And one style might work for one person, whereas the other will not work for another. And that even goes into the company. A company might have their own communication style, and that might not fit to, the new culture coming in. So the ultimate challenge is finding a style that best complements your employees' culture as well as your company's culture. And being on the same page, because without that, like I said, your ideas, they're just not going to get shared. And you can't really go anywhere without communication. And lastly, I think this is very important as well, teamwork and leadership. Employees nowadays, everything's kind of in a team setting. There's not too much individual work anymore. So you have to be able to play in a team setting, fit in a team setting, work in a team setting. And without teamwork, like I said, things aren't going to be done. There's going to be a missing part. Things aren't going to get relayed. And within that teamwork, you need a leader to step up. You need someone to take direction, plan things, make sure that the team is working well and that they're communicating to other teams and other individuals to get that work done. And that's ultimately going to help increase the productivity. Moving on to the recruitment challenges. So globalization. Today, companies are being more diverse, and employees coming into a new company, you want to come into a company that is sharing that. You want to come into a company that has different culture, different diversity, different individuals to work around. And that goes in with size and reputation as well. You want to come into a company that you're going to have growing opportunities for your career. You don't want a job bounce. You want to advance in one setting. And reputation. No one wants to come to a company that has a poor reputation or is unsuccessful. So if a company can't do any of these, it's going to be very hard for them to attract and even retrieve highly qualified individuals for their company. Selection process, this is, in my opinion, the most important. Oftentimes, recruiters nowadays are recruiting people to come to the company because the positions are in need, not because they're the right fit or the optimal best fit for that position. And getting, not only a company, but recruiters' heads changed and being more complex in this process to find that right fit, find the best candidate for that job rather than, I have to fill 5 recs today. So I'm going to pick and choose just because that's my job. As long as I have the 5 recs, we're good. And we kind of really need to get out of that mindset because you're getting a higher percentage of poor fits, and that's decreasing your productivity as a company. And then lastly, family and work balance. So again, an employee is going to want to come into a company where they can have a stable career and a stable home life. They have to be in accordance. If employees coming into a company and they're working long hours, they have to work overtime, have to work on holidays. This is going to induce a lot of stress and a lot of lack of sleep and lack of privacy and content in their home life. And employees aren't going to want to do that. That's going to decrease their attitude on their job satisfaction is going to decrease, and they're not going to want to join a company like that. So the challenge is, how to incorporate that balance well enough that the company is getting what they need on one hand and the employees getting what they need on the other. So solutions to start with HR, you need employee satisfaction. This is going to increase your employees' morale and engagement levels, and with that, it's going to increase their job satisfaction. It's all about their attitude. If they love to come to work and they want to come to work to, increase not only their profit but the company's profit, it's going to help everyone. Strategic partnership. This is going to help rid that stigma I talked about previously. They're going to expand, and this is going to allow HR to start to develop the company's plans and directions instead of being merely just an administrative function of the business. Now they're looked at as the most valuable resource in the business, and that's really going to help them. Again, leadership and communication, those always have to be in hand, because if not, like I said, without communication, nothing's going to be done, nothing's relevant, nothing's being heard. Recruitment, branding, this is really the company and recruiters' ability to get their name out there, get their story out there, their success out there, and attract all those highly qualified individuals that they need, along with networking, but this is going to be a different technique and different tool. It's going to allow, their knowledge, again, the history, their success to be branched in more broad, level, you could say. And something that works well with networking, I know for me personally, was LinkedIn. So that's a social network that really helps companies nowadays get out there and find some candidates. And then again, the selection process, this needs to be a lot more comprehensive, complex. It needs to be geared towards finding the best candidate rather than just filling positions. And something that I kind of went through with a job interview that I just accepted was a different type of software training, which I'll be implementing soon in my future profession. But what it is it's a different tool. It's a new perspective for recruiters to use. It's techniques to use to know how to recruit individuals for a specific job. So it's going to give them more learning, more education on how to do so they can implement this once they're in that career field. And then conclusion. So the end game is obviously overall productivity, successful company, departments. And I really like this quote. My coach used to say it all the time. It's a marathon, not a sprint. And this applies very well to this. If HR and recruitment develop these solutions into this, the changes aren't going to come overnight. Once they develop them, it's going to take a little bit of time for them to be incorporated and fix things. But once they do, I really think that it's going to help the productivity and success of the company and get them to that desired goals that they want.